Hi, and welcome to day 23 of Junk Journal July, an international collaboration hosted by Meg at Meg Journals. Each day in July, you can find inspirational videos created by the artists participating in this fun challenge. My name is Luise Heinzel, I live in Austria, and I'm a full-time junk journal artist. As you can guess from the name of my channel, I create junk journals with a touch of art journaling. If you want to check out the other participating channels and the playlist with a ton of inspiration, you can find all the information linked below this video. We all are working with a prompt list, and since this is already the 10th year of Junk Journal July, can you believe that? Whoa! Meg has put together the most popular prompts from the past years. Thank you so much, Meg, for the great list and for bringing all of us together. This is just an awesome collaboration with so much inspiration. So please check out the other channels and videos as well. My prompt today on day 23 is overlap. I thought, what can I create in my journal here? So I want to work in my journal here and create something for a page, which I already have chosen. Where is it? It's gone. Here it is. I want to use this page here in my journal to create something. To be honest, I don't know really how to call it. It will become something like an overlapping notepad thingy or something, which I want to create first besides the journal, and then later on I want to glue this to this page here. I would like to create something really colorful today. So this is the palette that I have chosen for today's project. And I would like to give you an idea on how to choose a color palette, because what you can see here, and especially how I have chosen it, was on the one hand coincidence, and on the other hand it's something that I have never done before in this way. Let me explain what I have done. A few weeks ago, I have fulfilled my collection of Distress Oxide inks, meaning I have bought every color which was missing in my collection, so that I now have every color that is existing in this Distress Oxide line by Ranger. And they have been in my little ink pad holder for a while. And as you can see, when they are sitting in the holder, they look like this, and this is relatively boring. You can't see the color from here, of course, so you have to label them. And that's what I have done yesterday evening. I have put a little label to each of the ink pads, and when I had finished that, I was sitting here looking at this rainbow, and I was so happy. Seeing all of those colors made me just happy. And then I thought, what if I take one section of my ink pad holder and use that as a color palette? I have not thought about it, I've just taken them out. Meaning, in this last section, there was lumberjack plaid on the very top, then there was one little drawer below, there was squeezed lemonade, below that there was evergreen bough, stormy sky, antique linen, and black suit. After I had found my color palette, I went to my paper stash and I tried to find papers which are matching these colors here. So for lumberjack plaid, I've chosen this paper bag here, or perhaps I should hold it like this so that you can see the real color. So this is just a paper bag with this cool pattern here. For squeezed lemonade, I found both of these little papers here. The one is a really flimsy paper with this shiny thingy on top, and this is just a little paper doily. For evergreen bough, I found these papers here. I think the bottom one is not 100% the color, but I think it's okay and it can work with this. And this scrap here is already embossed, so that is really cool because yeah, we can throw something on top and we have probably a nice piece of paper. Stormy Sky. This is actually a Christmas paper, I think, but I don't care about that because the color matches and I like this pattern. I can't see any reason why I can't use this in July. I don't care about those things. And antique linen, there I have these here. And for black suit, I found this piece of wallpaper. And this is actually a really cool material because this is really sturdy. I got this in a Happy Mail. And this is absolutely amazing because it is so sturdy and we can use this as a base. And I want to have this interesting edge here later on showing. So I'm eyeballing that like this, then it can later on go in here, and this is the perfect size for this page, I would say. So I can take this and put my journal away for a while to be able to create this thing, and I don't have to think about the measurements anymore because I have my base here in the right measurements. I thought I want to try to take these colors and bring some more interest to these papers here by stamping and stenciling to them. And then I want to layer them on top of each other, and I want to sew here later so that I have a really like, yeah, overlapping notepad thingy. So let's see how we can do that. First of all, I think I have to play around a little bit with the size because this paper bag is obviously too big, as you can see. And I want to decide for the order how I want to put these in here. So perhaps this is good. And I'm doing this relatively intuitively. Hopefully that was a word. And perhaps it's good if we have the bigger things on the bottom and then we get smaller to the top. So let's perhaps take this. I really like this contrast between this turquoise-ish green and the red. That looks really interesting. So that is great. And what if we take this paper doily and wrap that around here? Then we could also do the stitching along here instead of here, and then everything could flip open like this. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think the next thing that I want to do is I want to take a photo so that I can remember the order that I have decided for. So let's just do that. I'm just taking my phone and then we can work on these things and later on we can just put it back together. So this paper I want to leave mainly like it is because the surface is relatively slippery, and I guess that the oxide ink or other inks also wouldn't dry on here. But I want to bring in this color a little bit, so I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm just inking the edges here a little bit. And we could even take a stamp and stamp a little bit here. I have this stamp here by Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and the name is Tiny Prints. The number is CMS 460, and I think that this pattern could look really gorgeous here. But I want to stamp that not so regular. As you can see, the stamp is a little bit smaller than the paper is. So I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm really randomly applying this here. I'm not looking for a really nice and clean stamp impression, but something abstract. And for that, I'm also taking a little bit of water and spritzing a tiny little bit from relatively far away to make that a tiny bit wet. Can you see it? So this way, when I now press this down here, and then go over that with my fingers like so. I'm not pressing it down completely, but I'm just going over it like this, so that I then get a really loose impression of this stamp, and this looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I love that. I really love that. Can we use this stamp on another paper as well, so that we have this pattern in another place as well? So let's see what, ooh, what we get. This looks absolutely amazing. Oh. Okay, so that is that. Let's see what we can do with the other papers and the other colors. This paper here, I mean, it's nice, but it's one of those typical scrapbooking papers, isn't it? Look at this. I mean, what the heck? I even don't know why I have this, because this is totally not my style. Yeah, I don't want to say anything bad against this paper, but I really don't like that. So let's try something. This color here is close to Evergreen Bow, and since this is, it's not the right color, yeah, it doesn't match 100%, so I want to see if I can take a stencil and stencil like a new pattern over this with this color to get an interesting look. I want to take this stencil from Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, and the number is THS 167. And I'm just thinking, since we have Stormy Sky here, why don't we take Stormy Sky and splatter a little bit over this to get this color here, because this is more bluish, and what we have in the background is also more bluish. More bluish. I'm so sorry, that was German. And perhaps we can get a nice variation here. Then it looks like this, and this is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, remember how boring this paper was before, and now this is, it's just amazing. Ah, I love it. Okay. So let's go on with Squeezed Lemonade, because that is a color in this palette that brings a little headache to my body because I'm not so sure if that can work in combination with the rest, but we will see. What if we take this and try to get the pattern here from the embossing folder shown with the ink? Holy moly guacamole. Shall I really do that? I'm afraid. Ah! Let's do it. Oh my goodness. I want to send some greetings to Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. She's also participating in this challenge, and Barbara, actually she's a really good friend of mine, and she's even more than a friend. She's my junk journal sister, and I think she's proud of me now because I have done this. This is not wild honey, Barbara, but this is just gorgeous. It's nearly neon. Do you have Squeezed Lemonade in your oxide ink collection already? If not, I think I have to send you this color because this is just amazing. That looks so cool. When I look at all of my papers here, I think we need more of the black soot ink. Because this is really my cup of tea. This looks really, really interesting. So I think I want to take this paper, which I had chosen for matching Stormy Sky, but I want to stamp to that with black soot, and I want to use this stamp here, also by Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous. The name is Floral Trims and the number is CMS 461. So here we go. And since I have chosen this paper to match Stormy Sky, I think I want to put some splatters to this paper as well and see what I can. Ooh, oh my goodness. Oh, I've just touched the paper with my brush. Look, that looks not so bad. Can you see that there? That looks not so bad. That gives me an idea. Because the splatters are relatively tiny, you can't see them so well, but that gives me an idea. Why don't we try, holy crap, why don't we try to press this in here? Will it smear? Let me try it here. This paper soaks so well and so fast. Oh my goodness, it works. It will not smear. Here is not so much water, so that this works. It works just perfect. I will put this here, take my brayer, just go over it. Yeah, that is cool. That is really grungy. And can you see that the actual stamp impression with the black suit is still there and it has not smeared? That is absolutely fantastic. It definitely needs lumberjack plaid. We haven't used the ink yet. We only have this color here on the paperback, so we definitely need more of that color. And what I also think is this is somehow not brown enough for me. I mean, how can it be brown if I haven't used a brown ink? But I think I want to grunge this up a little bit more. And I want to try to take the single layers and just take the ink pad and grunge this up a little bit, just by going over the edges like this. And for this paper doily, I've just decided that I want to put a lot of this ink here, because then the color is, I think, a little bit better than it was before. I think that looks way better. And now I think I want to take this to my sewing machine already and sew along here so that everything is attached to each other. And then I will probably grunge this up even more, because I really like this effect with the brown, but we still have to use lumberjack plaid. I need more red here. First I will go to my sewing machine and sew along here. Here we go. Then it looks like this. And what to do with the lumberjack plaid? Do you know what I'm just thinking? What if I take the ink pad? Don't think about it. Do it. And I'm wondering why I'm so spontaneous heute. That's also German. I'm so sorry. Today. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is awesome. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, I will do that here as well. Like that. And perhaps a third area like that, but where? Just like that. Okay, so then let's try to get even more grunge to this project. I'm just thinking this brown gives like a vintage touch, and all of the colors give something like a modern touch. Perhaps we can get something that is like a really great mixture of those styles. So I'm trying to damage these papers here and there a little bit. Then let's take more of the Gathered Twigs oxide ink and let's take some water and a paintbrush and let's just go over this here and put some of the ink here to the edges. And of course, if you don't have, perhaps I should have mentioned that in the beginning of the video, holy crap, if you don't have ink pads or something like that, you could also do this with watercolors or with acrylic paints or whatever you have at hand. This is way too regular. So let's do it like this. When I look at this, I think I need more contrast and a really, really big contrast. This brown is nice, but it's not enough for me, and especially not because of this dark base and all of the colors here. I really like this colorful thing, but I want to have some dark black, real black. So I have just cut out some wildflowers from these sets here by Zizix and Tim Holtz. These are the wildflower stamps, and I have cut out some from this set 664163 and some, or actually only one, this one from this set 664164 is the number of that. And I thought I want to tear these. I don't need that. And I want to place them behind here and then glue them down so that they peek out here. And I think this needs a little bit more tinier details. I don't know how I can explain that, but I found these tickets here. I got those in a Happy Mail as well, so I can't tell you where they exactly come from. I mean, from which shop or something. And I thought perhaps I can add some of those as additional layers so that we get a little bit more, you know, these images and the writing. I think that helps to make this even more interesting. So I will just glue some of these down with exactly the same method like the die cuts, but I'm still missing something like a real focal point that could go here, or something like a fat sentiment here. I've just decided that I want to change my plan of this whole thing a little bit, but I think that's a normal thing during such a process. I've just decided to add more stitching because I thought that this whole thing is not me enough, yeah? And because of that, I've decided that I want to turn this into like a really fat and dimensional card, because now with my sewing, we can't flip the pages anymore. I've sewn over here in the same style like I've done it here in the beginning, and I've also sewn over here so that now here's something like a little frame and we have all of these loose threads. That's way more me than the other thing, but this is not a notepad anymore, yeah, but that doesn't matter, who cares. I want to add some white splatters here, mainly there where the flowers are, because I think that is also something that is matching my style. If you know my channel, you know that I love white splatters. And at the same time, I think I need to break this black a little bit. But I'm still missing a focal point here, and I have no idea what I want to put here. Oh, what about a butterfly? Butterflies can solve every problem. Let's see. Ooh, no, that is totally the wrong color. No. Unfortunately, the red in this butterfly is not this lumberjack plaid red. But what about a neutral one? Ooh. What about a neutral butterfly? I mean, this brown would match the gathered twigs brown really well. Okay, I've changed my mind another time, and I think I have found the main thing why I don't like this. And the main thing is definitely this color here. And then I came across these little guys here. This is just a die cut, which I've cut out from book page. And this is something like a napkin, like a coaster, where you can put a glass on. And this says, kein Stern, der deinen Namen trägt. That is actually a really funny joke. If you know the German song, Ein Stern, der deinen Namen trägt. So it would be like this, and that's a very popular song. And it says, a star that has your name. And this says, no star that has your name. And this is actually really funny, but I've not chosen it because it's funny. Just wanted to explain this, and you know, some of you appreciate some German lessons. So here you have one more. I've chosen that because it's black and it's big enough to cover up this strange yellow below. Look, strange, harmonious. And I want to have this not too extremely black, so I have chosen this thing with the book page to make this even a little bit bigger, and to have another layer, another thing that's overlapping, if you will. But now we have the problem that we can see a lot of this writing here below, and I don't really like that. So I want to cover that up a little bit, but it's relatively empty here. But perhaps we can add a quote here in a second. I think that would be good. Ah, yeah, that's the plan. So let's give him some feelers. Which color? I think we will go with this one that matches this blue here really well. This is a Tim Holtz ideology piece, and as you can see, this is relatively thick, and it gives, of course, more bulk, but also more dimension and more weight to the quote itself. I really like that. Okay, so I think we can now take this, search for the page that we've chosen in the beginning. That was this one, and then we can put this here. And I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised. Can you see how much this frame brings to the piece? Whoa. So this was day 23 of Junk Journal July. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will try something like this for your own journal. This is really fun, and I'm really happy with how this came out. Check out the other videos and the other creators that are participating in this fun collaboration, and have a very great day. See you the next time. Bye bye.